Do you hear this guy? What up guys, Nakamoto Crypto here. Today we gotta talk about 5 lies that you need to watch out for right now if you are into the Drip network. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get right to it. So, meet Keolino. This guy wrote a whole Medium article and he has been invested into Drip for the past 9 months. And this is what he had to say about the contract and his experience overall. So how and why the Drip network is dying right now and no one is talking about it. But before we do, let's check the Cardano chart, because look at this. Cardano just waked up, pump and dump for the past, whole year pretty much. So Cardano pumps, dumps. Another one, pump, dump right here, pump, then dumps, pumps, then dumps. This has been going on for the whole year and then a 92% downward spiral since January. This is the fastest dump you have ever seen in the history of crypto. This was than Luna. Oh, that's the Drip network actually. It is the Drip, not Cardano's ADA, homie. Yeah, it's not Cardano, it's Drip. Drip has been here for, the past year, and this is what it has been doing, pump and dumps. So do not compare the Drip chart to the Cardano chart, because this has been going on for the past 6 years. In 6-year veterans into the cryptocurrency space, the most respected cryptocurrency out there, homie. You had a whole few years to accumulate ADA before this pump. You've seen me cover Cardano on this channel at 8 cents all the way up to $3. So never compare the Drip network to Cardano ADA. But that was just a quick side note. Let's get to the reason why we are making this video today. Keolino, wonderful article. He goes on to say, well, here it goes. My very first Medium article. I didn't really want it to be a negative one, but I have a hard time keeping this quiet if I see something that just isn't right. Doesn't that sound like your boy Nakamoto? Okay, so what's going on, he says, in the Drip community definitely needs to be called out. I'm calling you out. Yeah, Nakamoto Crypto, the one you like to ignore, but you want to Twitter finger about, or write your little funny comments under his YouTube section, right? So, for the record, I'm invested into Drip, he says, and I have been for some times now. So I am indeed flooding my own bag. Yes, he is. So let's start with the lies that these drippers want to tell you on a daily basis. The whales would say it and the little ones would just regurgitate it. Information. The cycle continues. Or maybe we should just call them propagated misconceptions. It's hard to know if the majority of the Drip community actually knows that they are lying, or if they just don't understand the project's mechanics. They don't understand it themselves. They're just repeating the mantra passed down to them by the Drip OG whales. I told you this. Just regurgitating information. Someone farts, reservoir. It's like an echo. They're all just following what the big ones are talking about and not knowing that you are being manipulated. How did the reservoir go for you? Something that's supposed to sustain the Drip network price. How did that play out for you? Let's start with lie number 1. So he says, the lie number 1 drippers like to tell you is the fact that the Drip tokens are burnt when they are deposited into the faucet. He says actually no, this never occurs. Now typically in any cryptocurrency project, the burning of tokens means that they are sent to a burnt address when they will never come back into circulation ever again. Look at Binance and go and study Binance and how they burn their tokens every quarterly. Go and study XRP, for example, and how they burn their tokens at every transactions. They show you in a wallet, in a burnt address where everybody sees the live tokens that are being burnt and taken out of circulation, boosting these prices up, right? Now, XRP, there's too many tokens. Binance, you've seen what Binance does. It literally went from $48 all the way up to $600 per Binance when they started burning these tokens heavy last year. But in the case of Drip, this notion of burning tokens is a lie, actually. They're not burning any tokens. So when they say in Drip that these tokens are burned, what they really actually mean is that these tokens are sent to a tax wallet and you receive what are essentially Drip credits in your faucet position. Get it? This is just credited, numbers on the screen, typical Ponzi scheme. Now, they are essentially just numerical representations of drip tokens, but these are not the actual tokens. And that leads us to lie number 2 that drippers would love to tell you. This is my favorite one. Drip is deflationary. Yeah, just like Bitcoin, drip is deflationary. This is a continuation of lie number 1. For a cryptocurrency, once again, to be deflationary, you would expect the token supply to have some sort of burn mechanism or something that takes these tokens out of circulation for good. But in the case of drip, tokens that are said in drip, when you deposit them, they are burnt. They are actually locked in a faucet forever when you deposit them, right? This is what the drip users cry, he said, but this is just kinda burnt, but not really burnt. It's inside Forex Shark's wallet. So the drip credits in your faucet aren't actually going anywhere. But where are the actual tokens going? So that you are credited in your account, you can see numbers on the screen, but the actual tokens that you deposit, those drip tokens, they're not burnt. They are flowing right back into these tax wallets, paying people, everybody else. And you tell me this is not a Ponzi scheme. They're not burnt. This is not deflationary. If it was deflationary, you should see a $5,000 drip right now. Where's the $5,000 drip? Where? I'll wait. So he says, as you can see, although your drip credits are locked in the faucet, the actual tokens are sent to the tax wallet to be available to pay out the claimed drip. When you deposit money into drip, it is being sent out to the next guy who claims, who was in before you. Typical Ponzi scheme. This drip will then now be swapped for BNB on a DEX, where they can then be bought and deposited back into the faucet, and the infinite cycle continues. Definitely not deflationary. So what is it then? Well, as all ROI, return on investment projects, the most important metric is the contract balance. And he says, as I write, the contract balance according to the June Analytics website, look at the link below. There's about 13.5 million drip that Forex Shark is using in his Wheel of Fortune to funnel this out. Around and round, wheels on the bus goes, and he just keeps paying people out of these 13.5 million. That's why you see this right here on CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap put a red flag on drip because drip is out here providing fake data. They're not showing you how much is the circulating supply. Therefore, the market cap is just a reported market cap. It's the fake numbers on the screen that they're providing, bro. If CoinMarketCap, which is a data analytics site, the biggest data analytics site when it comes to crypto in the entire globe, is putting a red flag on you, you're hiding something. And that's what Forex Shark is doing, bro. Typical. Now, this is the contract balance. You can check it. I will leave the link in the description box below. Let's carry on to these lies, because he says the drip community members often don't believe you if you try to tell them that drip isn't deflationary. But if it was, how could there be nearly 13.5 million drip in the faucet when the total supply of drip is only 1 million? Have the pennies dropped yet? Has something rang a bell in your head? 13.5 million in the contract balance, but yet there's only 1 million in terms of total supply. But they'll tell you, no, yo, these drips are locked, etc. This is locked balance. It has nothing to do with the total supply. Yeah, they are locked, he says, but they are also 1% daily interest paid upon out of these 13.5 millions, right? And this 1% of 13.5 million is about 135,000 drips. So some of this will be sold, some will be compounded to further increase the contract balance. But why does this matter? It affects the price of drip. That's why it matters, bro. Price matters. I don't care what they tell you. Price matters. If price didn't matter, then Forex Shark didn't need to show you any data in terms of price. He would just tell you, like Swapnex, give me your coins and tokens and I'll pay you 1% a day. That's all you need to know. So price does matter, homie, because if you bought drip at $170 and this thing, you watch it drop down 92% just right now, your little $10,000 investment has turned down to $2,000. And you're still getting paid 1% a day out of it. That 1% is jackal if the price is down this much, bro. So price does matter. I don't care how much 1% they pay you. So he goes on to lie number 3 that you need to watch out for, these drippers been preaching. He says, by this time next year, the drippers always say this, 1,000, drip will go to $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 due to supply shock. Yeah, shocking. His response to this? There's literally 0% chance that this will happen. Why? Because the second most important metric in the drip network ecosystem is the new players joining drip. I told you guys, any Ponzi scheme, funnel new players in. That's the most important thing. Team building. They always tell you about team building. Without team building, this thing is going to die. I don't care how much money you put in that reservoir. You're just being manipulated. Use your head. So let's look at how the price of drip has followed the amount of new players joining drip. The top chart shows the new users joining drip, and the chart below that shows the drip price itself. So this is the amount of people that are joining drip, and this is the drip network chart, the price itself. You see how they follow each other? You see that? That's the difference between drip and Bitcoin. That's the difference between drip and Cardano. Because those two Ponzi schemes, right? They don't wait for no new players to jump in so they can boost right up and then drop back down. They don't rely on new players to sustain itself. If that was the case, Bitcoin would have been dead long time ago. Without the mining network, the miners and all of this stuff. And you want to compare drip to Bitcoin. Are you stupid, bruv? Use your head. So these two charts, he says, they follow each other because drip is bought and deposited into the faucet, and it is taken out of circulation by drip ending up in a tax wallet, thus pushing the price of drip due to the increasing scarcity of the tokens in the DEX liquidity. But it doesn't happen in isolation. You need to take into account the amount of claims that are being made too. So the drippers will say, so we just need more new players to join drip and we will see another new all-time high. He also says, okay, this is, no, kinda. We need exponential amount of players, like you need way more players to be joining drip just to meet growth into the ecosystem. So during the last all-time high of drip back in January, right, the contract balance had around 5.5 million drip tokens in it. So even if every player, and this is the most important part of this video, listen to this closely. Even if every player in drip sold their 1% daily rewards, this would only amount to approximately 55,000 drip tokens being claimed every single day out of that 5.5 million. It doesn't stop there. So as you can see from the new players chart in January, there were nearly 30,000 new players joining drip, which obviously meant that a lot of drip buying pressure, right? Now, with the contract balance having like 13.5 million drip tokens and growing, how many new players do you think are needed just to maintain the price of drip at all-time highs, let alone increasing the price? And at 13.5 million in the contract balance, 100,000 drip, 1% daily interest being credited to players available daily. So, with that being said, do the math. I think it is safe to say if drip somehow explodes magically to $1,000, right, per drip token, at least 80% of these drips would be sold. This is out of that 135,000 drip tokens, right? So that would mean you would need at $1,000 drip price, just to maintain that price level, $108 million in daily purchases, daily buys, coming into the faucet daily just to buy drip to maintain the price of $1,000 per drip token. This is why when it hit $150 or $170, it instantaneously started dropping, bro. Ponzi scheme. Not sustainable. You actually have to get there first, up to $1,000 per drip token, which would require such a continuous, a huge amount of capital coming into the ecosystem. And that leads us to lie number 4. Already told you, drip at $1,000, not sustainable. You need $108 million in daily volume coming in. So lie number 4, he says, drippers love to say this, it's not the drip whales, it's the new players who are panic selling. This one here, I don't even have to read this to you. You can check it. I will leave the article in the description box below. Just go over here. That's the proof in the pudding. Look at this. Who's selling? Small accounts are easy to recognize in this, right? You have 31 drip, 1 drip, 45 drip, but then you have these big like 61 drip tokens being sold, 87 drips randomly being sold, 200 drips being sold, 180 drip being sold, sell account. So The small accounts, even if you put them together, what the whales are selling daily is a constant sell pressure board. That's why you see this downward spiral. What was the lie back in April? Once the drip whales max out, the price of drip will reverse and it'll go back up. How did that play out for you? You didn't realize that them whales are manipulating you? Those are lies that drip whales are putting over there. Just like they just lied to you about the reservoir. This is how they lie to you, so you can jack their prices up and they will dump on you every single time. These people have multiple accounts and multiple wallets, so you don't have to worry about drip network whales maxing out and getting out for good. They can just transfer that drip into another new account, and then just the cycle continues. You're being programmed, you're being farmed, you're being manipulated. Sit down and listen. That leads us to lie number 5. So he says this point isn't really about a lie. It's more like a toxic community kind of thing. The drip community is becoming more and more toxic, and they're not even realizing this. It's like a cult. I told you guys, once you're being farmed into Telegram group, I never go into Telegram. You never see Nakamoto Crypto into anybody's Telegram channel, because I know this is how they farm people, bro. That's why they want to recruit new players. They want to downplay these things. Everybody to shut up and just listen. We can show you how to make this money. You don't have to just fund everything and get everybody scared so they can get the newcomers on board them all the time. It's a constant recruiting process, trying to trick people into giving them your money, and they use you as a referral and you're just making them rich. It's simple. Group thinking. I told you, group thinking is a social experiment. You stay in a group for so long, your IQ level drops. You start thinking and behaving just like a sheep. Whatever the leader says, yes, we follow. You get it? Group thinking, you need to be careful with that. You are being farmed. You need to be extra cautious being farmed and being used as one of their little beta males. I be telling you the truth on this channel because I'm not one of their little beta males. I told you that. This is Nakamoto Crypto. We teach you how to be independent and how to use your own mind and how to be well calculated when it comes to crypto and DeFi in particular. So he says there are some things that are repeated in their Telegram groups, and that makes me question the authenticity of the drip community leaders, and how they always say, hydrate only at least a year before you start selling drip. So he goes, is this so that the whales can have all the liquidity for themselves so they can just keep on claiming while you're hydrating? I told you this in my very first Drip Network series, and I noticed this as a newbie coming into Drip. I wasn't even invested into Drip, and I could see this from a mile away. And I told you, what I noticed, I was watching a couple of them YouTubers, bro, and all they were telling the little other YouTubers and these other beta males, hey, just hydrate, bro. This is how I made it. Hydrate. If you hydrate. But while you was hydrating, they turning off them cameras and claiming behind you, dumping that price from $170 down to what it is right now, $10. How did the reservoir play out for you, by the way? So they say sellers are getting wrecked. That's another lie by selling at these low prices. He says no, sellers are not actually wrecked. As you never run out of drip, you can just keep compounding to infinity. Yeah, you can get that. But if you look at bankroll flow, it's still around paying, but if it's paying at these low levels, they just forgot about it. Leave it there and still pays the new suckers who are coming in. Nobody's getting into bankroll flow. And they just turned it into elephant money. So drip could go have the exact same cycle. That slow death, that slow bleed, where they just slowly pull the rug on you. I told you guys, there's no more error 404. They said it. No more error 404. No more websites shut down. Everything is gone. No more money. Everybody cry away. Now, them ones are gone now. You get the slow rug pulls, which means the platform still stays, protocol still standing, smart contract doing what it does. It's still paying, but it's paying at these low levels. You're getting these multiple drip tokens that are worthless. Nothing. So just lucky whales manipulating you. That's pretty much what it is. If you can read his final thoughts, here's your best platform, best thing in DeFi. You don't need to put like $100 spreading your desk. You could never understand that. But if you want to understand that and how you can get lucky with that, with putting $100 here and there into these projects, just praying and hopping for the next best thing, watch my video about Dogecoin and how I turned 260,000 Doge Bitcoin into a fortune, selling half of them at 64 cents. You can watch this video where I did it. It is the only video where I showed my wallet, and I don't like showing my wallet. I never ever done that again, and I've never done it before that. I've made over 300 videos on this channel. Never once did I show my wallet, because I'm not a showboater. I don't boast about how much money I have and all this clown stuff. But I did show people on that video about the power of just buying Dogecoin at the time when the narrative wasn't even there. Just dollar cost averaging into Doge. No, just throwing $50 and $100 here and there. And that account turned me into what I sold right now. Go back and watch that video. I will leave that link in the description box below of how much Dogecoin I had in my wallet and how much I sold and at what time exactly did I sell, just before Elon Musk and his mother went over to Saturday Night Live. You remember that incident last year. If you was here, you remember that event. So yeah. Crypto is not about showing off, showboating. This is my wallet, ha ha ha, this is what I'm making. Crypto is about teaching people the fundamentals of this thing. I know most of it is BS. Most of crypto is BS anyway. You would understand later on. But the core fundamentals of this, dollar cost averaging, you see them preaching it to themselves now. When I was preaching it to people, nobody wanted to hear me because Drip was at all-time highs and everybody was happy, was making money. Nobody wanted to dollar cost average. But now they're telling you to dollar cost average into Drip. You see the hypocrisy behind that. But this is what these people do. The importance of education in crypto. Here's one of my favorite cryptocurrency YouTubers, this guy here, Coincider. And I'm going to show you how stupid it is, this narrative of just banning people from Telegram groups, for example. I always tell people, don't go into Telegram groups. Why would you go there? Because they ban you anyway. They don't like fathers. You're fadding. You're fadding your own bag. You're banning people from your own community out of stupidity and out of fear and just being too beta malish to take the truth. So this is one of my favorite YouTubers, right? And this guy is the biggest Cardano critic. His name is Coincider. I will leave the link of his channel into the description box below. Go and watch his Cardano videos and see how much constructive criticism he put, how much effort he put into just fighting Cardano, but he told the truth, bro. And I've listened to him. The community, the Cardano community listened to him. And you can tell that the Cardano Foundation, IOHKO, they listened to him because every time he criticized them, they would come out with a banger. And then he would make a video saying, hey man, I'm sorry, the Cardano community, but you guys been improving since I made that video that I was criticizing you guys. He went as far as calling Charles Hoskinson, for example, an arrogant cult leader or something like that. When we all know Charles is one of the most humble ones in the crypto space. He'd be fighting his battles, but he's mostly humble. But this is Coincider. This is the man who called out that Terra Luna would go down a month before it did. This is the guy. This is the YouTuber, Coincider. I've been watching him for so many months because you get a lot of knowledge with his videos. He put in a lot of effort and research in his videos. Education is very important in cryptocurrency, especially in DeFi. So that's why I do what I do, to help people. Arm them with weapons. Look, you can invest into Drip, Splasive, Elephant, whatever you want to put your money into, DeFi. But I'm not here trying to block your blessings. You can get into anything you want to do, but you can take weapons that I'm telling you right now before you get into any project. So instead of putting $10,000 into Drip, for example, you can watch my video and say, hey man, this is too bookie. I'm going to put $2,000 instead of 10K, just to avoid being exploited, being slowly rugged. Because it's not pretty. You've seen what happened with Elephant. You've seen what happened with Splasive and all these other Drip clones that magically got rugged. Nobody got their money back. Splasive went for $30, relaunched at $12, back down to $2. Nobody's talking about how much money people lost. Elephant, same thing, relaunched at really low prices. Drip, Animal Farm got paused when pigs was at $900. They relaunched at like $200 or something. It's back down right now. Nobody's talking about how much money they really lost, bro. And this is why my channel is important. It is just to raise awareness and help people understand DeFi before they can get into any project. It's not to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It is to arm you with a weapon of knowledge so you know what you are getting into. All of these programs are programmable ROI pump and dumps. It could be a quick dump, it could be a slow dump, but At the end of the day, before you make your money, know what they are. With that being said, like up the video, share it, subscribe for some crypto content. I have been Mr. Nakamoto Crypto, and I'm out.